If we think of the economy as a pie, when the cost of ingredients goes up, baking that pie becomes more expensive. And that's what inflation feels like. Everything is costing more. Even though inflation is easing up, prices are still higher than we'd like. Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union is here to share some tips on how to manage your finances and make your money go further in 2024 and keep your slice of the pie from getting smaller. Let's welcome Tammura Thomas, Fruitridge Branch Manager from Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union. Hey, Tammura.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so Tammura, it's great to see inflation. It's on the decline, but it's higher than most of us would still want it to be. So where can we start in navigating all of this?
Yes, so it's definitely going to take some time to get to the norm. So you may notice that your dollar that you're spending isn't buying you as much as before. So something that we talk about all the time, a really great place to start is your budget. And I don't mean look at the budget you created. Look at where you are spending your money. Go through your statements, categorize how you're spending, and see if the income you have coming in compares to what you have going out in expenses. So it's a really great time to look at that budget and look for areas where you may be able to cut back.
Alrighty, and if we analyze our budget and kind of realize we're spending beyond our means, how can we slice down our spending?
You know, the first thing to do is really look at those things that we have, that kind of those set it and forget it mentality things, those memberships, those subscriptions. It's a really good time to look at those. Are you still utilizing them? I have streaming services that I pay for that I don't even use, right? So that's a really great way to cut out some funds and save some money. Another good thing is shop the sales, shop all of those types of things. When you're at the grocery store, think about store brand versus name brand. You know, they're very comparable when it comes to taste and things like that, but at a much lesser cost. So shop the deals, store brands. Also, it's a really great time to look at things that we pay for that we don't realize we could save money on, like our auto insurance. When's the last time you got a quote? You pay what you pay and you assume that it's the lowest, but there may be something else out there for you. So cable and internet is also another one. If you call them and say, hey, I feel like I should be paying a little bit less for this, or I could get a better deal here, they're usually equipped with ways to help you, and they want to keep you, so they will work with you to potentially lower your bill.
Okay, and so once we're trimming off all the fat and saving as best we can, what are some practical ways to boost our incomes to manage our finances, especially during inflation?
Right, this is a time nobody wants to have to take on another job, right? So it's a really good time to sit down with your employer, your boss. If you're a hardworking employee, it may be time to consider a raise. So to have a conversation, open that dialogue. Even if the raise can't come right now, it may be, okay, what steps do I need to take to get there? So you can set yourself up for a raise. Or do you have, I think about a hobby, right? It's a good time to create a side hustle. Do you craft? Do you take pictures? Do you draw? Think about offering those services to people in your community and see if you can turn something you love into a nice little income stream. And then something I think about all the time is it's a good time to go through the home and get rid of things that you are not using. My stair stepper that's been sitting in the corner for 3 months that I swear I was going to use every day, right? Maybe somebody else can get used for that. So think about selling some of those items to bring in a little bit more.
There you go. You can sell it online. And then sometimes those obvious answers are the last thing we tend to think about. So do you have any tips for managing debt during times of inflation?
Yeah, so of course inflation is up, the Fed interest rate is up, you're probably paying a lot for your credit cards. So it's a really good time to look at your credit cards and consider consolidating them into something that will save you on interest. Also puts everything into one payment. When it comes to credit cards too, if you have cards that offer a 0% rate, consider balance transferring your funds over so that you're paying towards your balance and not the interest. So kind of play that game and find the best deals for yourself, but sit down with a financial professional to see what options you have.
There we go. Tammura, thank you so much for all these tips.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information. You can visit one of the many Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen. And you can find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.